and gentlemen, welcome to Unpopular Review.
Thank you all for clicking on our faces.
New flag with all that.
Okay, so I wrote down some notes.
Shots do that. I don't want to sit too hard. That's twice. That'll probably go over about as well as Colonel Dippy.
Because there was no Jay White site.
Okay, just straight up gangbanging. This story has been fit. You gotta pay attention.
So Unpopular Review does not. What is she the CEO of, Chris? Jesus, golly. Let's start the show.
Hey, it's Mariah May. You may know me as The Glamour, and you're watching Unpopular Review.
What is going on, my friends? It is a Wednesday, another episode of AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts. Episode 251 is in the books from Nashville. And I got to say, there were some ups, there were some downs. But I think AEW made a splash tonight. What do you think? My co-host Cactus, or my host Cactus Caite.
Yes, it was Blood and Guts today in Nashville, Tennessee, coming from the Bridgestone Arena. It was an exciting night, especially when we got to the cage fight of the true Blood and Guts.
Well, let's go over the card before we start. We had Chris Jericho taking on Suzuki for the FTW title. We had Britt Baker taking on Hikaru Shida. We also had we saw Mariah May in action, and we also saw oh god, what am I drawing a blank? We saw the Bastard Pack in a match, and then we had a promo from MJF, which we're gonna start the show with the promo. And he had a little cheerleading action going on right before his intro, which I thought was unique.
Well, I don't know if I would consider it unique because I literally thought he stole that from Cody Rhodes on WWE. I was like, oh, did he steal Cody's cheerleaders? And then
why? What was that?
Why?
No. When was that?
When he first walked out to all these red, white, and blue cheerleaders.
No, but you said Cody did it. When did Cody do it is what I'm saying.
No, I don't know if he did do it. I'm just saying those would be his cheerleaders. Those are like the American Nightmare cheerleaders.
I see. I agree. I have a bone to pick with AEW, and I don't know how to handle this. And I really do. I really wish Tony Khan and TNT and TBS would really fix this problem. And what I'm talking about is the cursing, the non-cursing. What words are they going to allow on TV? The whole crowd was chanting, "Shut the fuck up." That was not bleeped off TBS, which was a total shocker to me because they always bleep it. And then just not even 5 seconds later, 5 minutes later, they bleeped out Tiny Dick, as Will Ospreay said it.
That's because the characters are actually saying it, not the crowd.
No, but hold on. But the crazy part is if you go back and watch some of the shows, they started bleeping what some of the crowd says. But again, nobody caught it, and they said Tiny Dick in the crowd. So I'm wondering what's going on here. I'm wondering if there's some kind of
Well, I mean, they did just announce that they're going to Max, so maybe they're prepping for that. So, you need to hydrate.
Or do you think that he doesn't care? He'll pay the fines.
I mean, he probably will. Absolutely, it's Tony Khan. He don't give a shit.
I really do think that AEW is going a little too far with people's real life stories. Talking about Will Ospreay's dead grandmother. I think that was a little uncalled for, which, I mean, listen, a job is a job. Your family's your family. I think they should keep both those separate. And that's what I think. I think wrestling today is really pushing the envelope with that. But the promo went, he wanted to tell people that, hey, listen, I'm back better than ever. And he sat there and explained that his match last week with Will Ospreay was an easy one, and that he beat him really quick, which we all know was not true. He beat him in 59 minutes.
Literally, from listening to his speech, I didn't know who I had more chance of fact checking was MJF's speech or the 2024 presidential debate. Which one had more lives?
It was pretty comical. But you know what? I did miss something, so I want to rewind real quick, because in the beginning of the show, Will Ospreay was shown getting ready to be interviewed, and they show a picture of his tire being popped by some kind of metal device, and then then Will Ospreay and the announcer jump into the announcer's car and takes off.
Right.
So let's back forward to Will Ospreay coming out. Everybody thinking he left the arena. Was this a swerve for MJF? Was Will Ospreay going to Denny's? I'm just really confused on why he got in a car and left, and all of a sudden you see him come through the crowd. Like, did you really understand that?
I mean, sometimes that happens. It's not like a big deal.
No, I'm not saying it's a big deal. I'm trying to figure out why, like, what was the point of that? Like if you were going to chase MJF in his car, I get it, but it wasn't like MJF took off in another car. You see what I'm saying? Like what was the point of that? Like, this is what I mean by AEW doing stupid stuff. Like, they're wasting time with their TV, and they're putting promos that don't make sense.
Well, I mean, like Jeffrey says, it's just confusing. It was just to throw you off. I don't think they meant for it to give you that much things to talk about.
See, but I go into things like I overthink things. Like that's me. Like I overthink things because I feel like when you talk about them and you really dive into them, they don't make sense. So we do know that August 25th. The rematch will be on Will Ospreay's home soil, London, England. All in August 25th. It will be the rematch. Will Ospreay taking on MJF. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good match.
Yes. No, I'm very excited for All In. I pretty sure I'll be watching that one at home. But it'll be one that they have really prepped for. So hopefully they can knock it out. They've had a lot of TV deals and big things happen leading up to this. So we'll see. I think they're going to be putting a lot of income into this match.
I think Mad Dog has that in his news later on. He's gonna give us the lowdown on what's going on at AEW. I've actually been in lookout for tickets to All In.
London?
I have my passport now.
Yes. Welcome to the big boys now, guys.
So my thing is, it might cost me. It might cost me a little bit too much. What did we think about the belt, guys? Did we like this? I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe Chris,
sexy belt.
Chris, maybe you can tell me if I'm right or wrong about this. It kind of looks like the HBK belt that's at WWEshop.com that they're trying to sell. Do you know what I'm talking about, Chris? Okay, I think he shook his head. So I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the, what's it called now? The American Championship is what they're calling it.
Chris is give us his 2 cents on it.
Well, no. What's the new title called?
American Championship.
American Championship. Oh boy, I tell you what, every time we see MJS promos, we never know what this guy's going to say. He is I like the championship belt, but I do not like the face that changed. And yeah, well,
the fact that they changed the name, you should have just brought in a new belt instead of, and then he could have been a 2-belt holder, whatever. But he just literally dropped it into the trash.
I mean, first of all, if none of you guys saw that coming, where he was going to come in and take the title and beat him, you were nuts. Like, I knew that their job was to get MJF a title so he can be the face again of the company.
Of course, they put way too much money into him. He's literally branded.
Let's go into the promo right afterwards. We had the coin toss to determine who is going to get the upper advantage on Blood and Guts tonight. And we pan to the coin toss, and our general is he a general manager? Would you call him a general manager? Christopher Daniels. Would you call him the general manager?
I think he's a VP.
No, VPs. No, that's the Young Bucks.
Right. But isn't he considered one of those as well?
No, I think he's a GM or something like that. Can somebody fact check me on that? Christopher Daniels, is he a VP? Is he a GM? But he's on the floor.
Yeah. On the floor.
Yeah, like on the floor. I don't remember seeing a coin toss. All I remember seeing is the Young Bucks saying they have the upper advantage. So obviously we know that they stole this one like they always do. These guys, you know, they live by their rules. They do what they want because they're the EVPs. But how do we feel about this?
I mean, it's the EVPs. They think they can do whatever they want. It's kind of like, Vincent LaSpada at Laspada's. They think he could do what he wants too, right?
That is totally right. I mean, absolutely 100% right. Yes. What's going on, Charmaine? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, Jeff. We love to see you guys join us each and every week here on AEW Reviews. Make sure you always follow, like, share, and then tell your friends, man. Tell your friends that every week on UPR, there's always a show going on. And before the end of the night, I will go over all the shows, when, what times, and when they're coming on. Let's get into this, Chris.
Thank you. What? I think you're right. He's an interim VP.
So I don't understand. So then, what are the Young Bucks?
Also the head, they are VP. You can have more than just two or more than just one. I mean, big companies have multiple VPs. But online, it does say he's the head of talent relations as well.
Okay, well, whatever the case may be, let's get into the Chris Jericho Suzuki match. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this match sucked.
It was very boring until it got to the end.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this: Chris Jericho looked way out of shape. I mean, I know you all are like, this learning tree is like a great promo thing, but I'm gonna tell you this right now: Chris is way over his prime.
Oh yeah.
Now I feel like this is these are forced segments. Like, here's the problem with all these fans. The people are fans of Chris Jericho. They're not a fan of what he's doing. They're a fan of Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho could walk out with a trash bag and say, "Hi guys," and they would go and buy a trash bag and copy him because they're fans of Chris Jericho.
Right.
So it was a slap fest for about 15 minutes. We went on break. They were still slapping each other. We came back from break. They're still slapping each other. I mean, Chris Jericho's chest looked like a slab of ground beef.
I mean, it literally looked like, I was going to say, a bad nipple piercing. I mean, just gushing.
I would hate to be Chris Jericho tonight. I guarantee his chest is really, really hurting.
Well, lucky for him, he has a wife that will take care of him, I'm sure.
And I don't understand the fans of AEW, and I'm going to tell you why. And maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe this is like a New Japan thing, but I guarantee if you go ask real AEW fans, not me and Caite, because we just watch it. We're not like true like hardcore.
Hey, I am representing right now.
Okay, you're representing, but what I'm saying is we're not. I don't feel like we follow but I feel like this chop fest is that's like a New Japan thing. Like they love to chop each other. Absolutely. And the crowd was, I mean, there was half the crowd eating up, half were boring. I don't get, like, I don't understand how that's entertaining. Like when you're going back and forth slapping each other, like, okay, you can do it for a little bit, but for a solid 15 minutes, what were you trying?
Don't get me wrong, Vincent Laspada. I'm sure you love that once in a while. It just depends on what kind of mood you're in, right?
Like I just said, I don't mind it, but there has to be an ending point. And for 15 minutes until Chris Jericho broke that by punching him in the face, I honestly thought I was going to go on for the rest of the match. Like I was just like, all right, I need to change the channel because this was getting boring. So right after Chris Jericho got the win, and right after Chris Jericho got the win, Suzuki did not like that at all. So he tried to put I think what was it called, a choke, some kind of chokehold on Chris Jericho after the match, and then of course we get the Learning Trees buddies, Keith and Big Bill come out, and they finish off Suzuki. Just so the way that they always do. Keep in mind,
they tried.
They tried. Keep in mind, these guys were banned from ringside for the whole match, so they had to show their faces.
The match was over. In their defense, the match was over.
What would your take on this? What do you think? Do you think that this? I mean, I know you said earlier it was a bore fest, but could you have went without this match tonight?
Yeah, I mean, they promoted it before, but I mean, anytime that Jericho's in the match, it's a money game, even if we don't believe that he's worth watching. It's because of those followers. They're true long-term followers of Jericho's, and they want to see him. I agree with the unofficial camera woman that he would be wonderful backstage. I think he's already kind of did the management role. And I think he'd be great at that too. But going back to this match, I wish I saw more Japanese style fighting other than the slapping, because that was just really, really boring. It was not technical wrestling that I enjoy. But we got through it, and Jericho, of course, won. So we'll see what happens next.
We go to the back for the remarkable Renee Paquette has the CMLL Women's Champion Willow Nightingale, and we thought we were going to get a nice promo from her, but
quickly.
Chris, Stokely and Chris Statlander changed that really quick while she slams her on I think it's like a rolling case, and proposes a eliminator match for next week on Dynamite to determine the number one contender for the CMLL Women's Championship.
Yes. You knew something was about to happen, but you didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but you kind of figured it was going to be, Chris and Stokely. But we've seen this one go for a long time, this storyline. How many more, stories are we going to get out of the same story of they don't like each other? They've already wrestled each other. Move on.
Yeah, no, definitely was it was definitely a surprise to I should say surprise, but I mean you think you're gonna get one thing and you get a swerve. Let's go on to this match. I think this was a great match. I think this is another match of the night that I really enjoyed. I hope I'm saying her name right. Karoshida taking on Britt Baker, the DMD doctor of AEW. Now I got to tell you guys, I have tried to go to the DMD's office.
Hers in Winter Park?
Yeah, it's very expensive.
No.
It's very expensive. She's only there Tuesday. No, was it? No, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. They told me when I asked when I called on the phone. I'm like,
did you specifically ask for her?
Well, I forget what the office is called, but I said who's the doctor on duty, and they said Britt Baker. I don't know if it's Britt. I wonder if her real name is Britt Baker, but they said, I mean, I think her first name is Britt. I don't know if Baker's her last name. It could be. Maybe I'm crazy, but I said is the DMD there, and they said,
"Oh my god!"
And they said,
"You are a true wrestling nerd."
No. I just wanted to know I mean, they say that she's there, but I could say I'm somewhere and I'm really not.
Yeah, no, she really does practice in Winter Park.
I know she does. I just know that her travel scheduling is a little hard to schedule around actually being a dentist.
And her real name is Britt Baker.
Is it really Britt Baker?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Brittany Baker.
Okay, so it's Brittany Baker, not Britt Baker. Okay.
I mean, that's what it's short for. Yes.
All right. So this match. From bell to bell, I mean, it was a great match. I mean, at one point we thought that she was going to pick Ashita was going to pick up the kendo stick to hit Britt Baker because she wanted to win really bad, and she did not want to. She wanted to do it on her own terms. Britt Baker looked good. She looked good coming back. I got to tell you though, when I was watching the video beforehand, she has gained a little weight. I mean, she's still skinny. But I'm just saying she's a little different than when she came back.
Well, yeah, I mean she's older. It's been 10 months since she's been in the match.
I mean, but you say she's older. She had 2 birthdays since we've seen her?
No, it's been 10 months. So she's gone through extensive training, and that causes muscles. So muscles weigh more than fat, and she's toned herself pretty well, and she's strong. She's ready to go.
Absolutely. She does pick up the win of this match. And afterwards, we knew they were going to get the CEO. I say this every week. I don't know what she's the CEO of, but we're going to move on. The CEO said that people are looking to see the DMD taking on the CEO, but her answer is no.
You know what? I do have to say this. The CEO came out like a CEO of Nashville tonight. She came out with her boots. She came out with her cowboy hat. She was ready to bring it to the hoedown tonight.
I'll give you that. She did look like she did put the part on tonight.
Yes, she did. And she loved every second of being able to interrupt that match. Well, it happened at the end of the match, but still. Making her spotlight, making her debut on tonight because she didn't have a match. This was her time to get back at Britt Baker for all the interruptions she's had. So, all power to you, girl. You got 2 belts. Bring it on as many times as you want to saddle up. Like Jeffrey said, saddle up, Monet. That's right.
She was eventually attacked with a big boot from free agent Camille. Now we've seen Camille. This woman is a monster.
Was attacked, not Monet.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Britt Baker was attacked.
Yeah.
And she's very tall, very, very athletic. She had the torture act. She was pretty much breaking the DMD in half. Now is this? So the question is, and I'm pretty sure we all know the answer to this. Has the CEO got herself a bodyguard?
Yep.
I definitely I kind of did see this coming. I mean, you know, she has 2 belts. She needs security. She needs to be known that she is, you know, watched very well. From
and it's just more eyes on her. So she's gonna love it.
Let's go into the next match. Boulder of the Iron Savages faced Pac, the Bastard. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was very I hated this match, and I'm gonna tell you why. You can sell me on certain things, but you cannot sell me on a guy that was twice the size as Pac. Probably could take Pac and smush him like a bug. And then in the beginning, could not. Here's the funny part. In the beginning, he could not suplex this guy, and then all of a sudden he can. Like I don't believe it. I'm not gonna buy it. Like this guy should have beat Pac. Like he should have just squashed Pac. But you know, we do know that Pac got the win.
It was a very, very quick match. I don't know exactly the time on that, but it felt like a time makeup match. You know, quickly throw it in, but not long enough to really get into it. So
then we also had Mariah May was in action against a local from Knoxville, Tennessee.
That was awesome.
That was quick.
It was quick, but it was awesome. It was awesome that they pulled the locals in. Good for Nashville.
Well, they always do. I mean, I think the Boulder of the Iron Savages wasn't he a local, or is he signed to AEW?
I don't know.
Mad
Dog can help us on that.
Mad Dog, can you look up if Boulder of the Iron Savages is part of AEW? Okay, so we got that. We got that. Let's see what I'm missing. So did I miss anything? Are we in the Blood and Guts?
We did look over the fact that there was a promo with Christian Cage and
yes.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Go ahead. Take that one because I saw it, but I didn't understand it.
Yeah. It was the Patriarchy was standing there with Chris Cage, and they were talking about, you know, Nick Wayne and the Royal Rumble that's coming up this Friday. But they're just really promoting the collision, and then right after that, it's when Pac came out. So it was very quick, but they got their 5 minutes of fame.
You know, we also missed too. We missed that after the match with Mariah May, Toni Storm's music played, and we thought we were going to see Toni Storm come out, but we all got tricked. But I really think the joke was on Mariah May because Toni Storm came out looking like, I don't know, a cameraman or somebody in the crowd, and takes off the hat.
She did the switcheroo for sure.
And she was ready to go. This is a side of Toni Storm that we have not seen yet, and she was ready to battle tonight.
You could see it in her eyes. She was focused. She wanted some. This is the Blood and Guts episode, but the only real Blood and Guts was the end of the episode at that match versus AEW versus the Elites, and she could have done. This could have been a whole episode. No, I don't know if I would consider it a PPV. They could have made it Blood and Guts into a PPV eventually, but they would have to make it a way more extensive than just one match.
Right.
But Toni Storm would have signed that dotted line real quick.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a commercial break, and then we will get into the main event, and then we have the news with Mad Dog. So stick around. You're watching AEW Blood and Guts reviews. All right, I guess the commercial did not play. Let's go into a commercial here. Come on, guys.
Previously on the Mike Knox Show.
Oh,
We have a new world heavyweight champion. Y'all can play Drew McIntyre's music all you want. That's not changing anything. Over, you screw me like this? That was a clear 3. He lost to a Falcon Arrow.
You know what I'm saying? I got 4 kids, okay? I can't do that anymore. But I have a soft spot for Jonathan Harvey because he saw us. He remembered us, my man. Why I said, yo, you remember us? He shows him the shirt. We put him on a shirt from being on SmackDown. He goes, yo, I remember you brothers. Y'all want to be on TV and always say, right place, right time. White rapper, 2 black dudes.
With previous guys. I like this. I like the idea of this whole farewell tour. I like the way Danielson did it. You give the higher ups a year to work you in. And also, man, it's a good, I don't want to call it a PR stunt, but I think it's a good way to send a Mount Rushmore guy out.
Yeah, we got grown-ass people bitching and complaining and pitching because he didn't roll the shoulder or kick it out. Okay, guess what? I guarantee you, 90% of the shit they do, that's wrong. I'm sorry. I do the more credit. 97% of the shit they do, you can't. So let's just hold off with the boxing because it's a story. Okay, it's a story.
Hold on here. Is this the barbershop? Is this the barbershop? It's the barbershop. Yeah, I mean, we can't talk straight in the barbershop. Then where can we talk straight? We can't talk straight nowhere else. You know, this ain't nothing but healthy conversation.
Well, that is the Mike Knox Show every Monday, 6 p.m. Make sure you check him out. Let's talk about what we have on deck for Unpopular Review. We're now doing the Monday Night Review show. Is it 6 p.m. on Tuesday?
Yep, 7.
Okay, 7 p.m. on Tuesday. And then right after, well, a little bit later, we have the NXT Review show with the wrestling. Oh, yeah, following as the NXT Review show with the wrestling doll. You can always check, and then you're on there too, right? Are you on there now all the time?
No, I just am a guest.
Guest host. And then let's talk about. You can always catch us, the AEW crew, for AEW Dynamite every Wednesdays right after AEW at about 10 o'clock, 10:15. Thursdays we have the top 5. Every week it changes, and then on Saturday, with Z is Silent, we have the SmackDown Penitentiary, and that's at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, correct? Correct. And make sure you check him out, because I tell you what, this man is just as crazy as the Mike Knox Show. These guys, they know what they do, and they do it well. Let's get into Blood and Guts. This is what everybody's been waiting for. And we have Team AEW, who is Swerve Strickland, your AEW World Championship, Mark Briscoe, you got the Acclaim, and you got Darby Allin taking on the Young Bucks, and you got Hangman Adam Page, Okada, and Jack Perry, your TNT champion. This match, it started out a little crazy. Caite, what's your thoughts about this match?
Oh, I loved it. I think it got very intense at the end, but it was, you know what? I did love it. Don't get me wrong. But the beginning part was a little dragged out with Perry and Darby Allin. I thought it was going to be more like just everybody on one mat, because they set it up where, there was a cage around 2 rings, and so I thought maybe they would set it up like, team at AEW on one side and the Elites on the other, and then they just kind of go after it. Like, I wanted to see people jumping over the ring or the ropes, but it wasn't like that. It was Darby Allin coming out and fighting the scapegoat Jack Perry, and then it just escalated to more and more people when the Elite came out. And then Swerve, of course, was the last to come out. And then it really started to get fired up after that.
Well, keep in mind, I mean, let's talk about, Swerve came out and he got immediately attacked by Hangman and Page, handcuffed to the actual cage.
So he couldn't enter.
Huh?
So he couldn't enter the cage. Yes.
Yes. And then the Young Bucks said, "Ring the bell, start the match." So they started the match without Swerve inside the cage. And then I kind of missed it. I was in the middle of going to the bathroom and getting ready for the show. How did Swerve get off the cage?
Prince Nana came to rescue him with some bolt cutters.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay. You know, you can always count on Prince Nana with that cup of coffee.
He had it tonight. I don't know what was in that cup, but he was ready to go.
I think the spot with I think who was it? Was it what Young Buck was it on top of the cage, on the side of the cage, and Anthony Bowens. Anthony Bowens went through the tables.
Yeah, and then and anytime you see Vasquez, I'm not saying his name right.
Who?
The guy, the meth head is what I call.
Oh, Mark Briscoe.
Briscoe. I don't know why I wanted to say it like it was a D instead of a B. Briscoe, anytime he's on the screen, you just get a kick out of it. You just don't know what him and Darby Allin, those two being on the same team is just chaos. Just straight chaos.
Well, Mark Briscoe's a little crazy. I mean, as we speak, I mean, he lost his brother. Yeah. He's kind of just off the chain, and then you got Darby Allin
missing 4 teeth. So
yeah, then you got Darby Allin who pours gasoline on top of Jack Perry and is going to light him on fire unless he gets.
Oh, you gave away the ending.
I wasn't supposed to.
I mean, not yet. We're escalating.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry.
We all know you like to finish real quick, but let's go. Come on. All right. Yes. So it came down to Perry getting.
Oh, no. Finish what we were saying. Let's go to the middle. All right, get the ending away. Let's talk about the middle.
So in the middle, you had a lot of tax.
Stable guns.
Yeah. Really? Put a cap on it.
Okay, sorry.
You had a lot of tax. You had a lot of people rolling in tax. You had tax being shoved in the mouth and then kicked the elite, then kicked the person in the mouth with the mouth full of tax. And then you had Swerve, who was in the match. And yes, the elite opened a briefcase that had staple guns. And the elite tried using those staple guns on Team AEW. But Swerve came in like a superhero and just knocked people out and then end up getting the staple gun himself, which led to an amazing scene where he just took everybody out one by one. And then the Rainmaker showed up, which I think this was an awesome clip. I hope that somebody has caught this. It was awesome. That is where Swerve and the Rainmaker Okada were going at it, and they both just stopped and respected each other for a minute. And Swerve had the staple gun ready to go, and he gives him the middle finger, and Swerve said, "Nah, not tonight," and just stapled his finger and just moved through them until they were all laying down. But it was awesome. That was the greatest moment right there for me. That was a highlight. But is just a psycho. He came from the rafters. He did the, I think it was called the coffin drop. That was another big spunk for me. Yeah. Oh, Jeffrey's talking about it here. The coffin drop. And when you bring out a cage, you just basically allow them to do what they want. There was nothing off limits. There was lots of blood, lots of gory things. But yes, then we got to the real tip top of the match where you see Perry getting handcuffed like Jesus on the cross, double handcuffed. Sure, and they are trying to get him to surrender. and he will not give up. He got brutally hit down, but Darby Allin was like, let's go. And he said, did he surrender? Did he say quit? And they said, nope, he did it. And so Darby Allin then came out with some famous words and said, let's get this party started. And he brought it with the gas cans. And if you want to take it from here, Vinny, go right ahead.
Well, what I was going to bring up too is that there is a motive behind this. He wanted to get a TNT title shot, or he was going to light him on fire. Right. So the Young Bucks granted him, the match. And then there was one last thing, which was them to surrender, and they did. So your winners of Blood and Guts was Team AEW. Not a bad match. These are always crazy matches. You never know what you're gonna see. And this is kind of like WWE's version of War Games. So I mean, it's kind of the similar, except for the people over in WWE are in a cage and they're not over here. So, well, that is Blood and Guts review. What would you give tonight's show?
There were some great points. There were some good matches. It was not, I would say, a traditional AEW Dynamite show. And like I said, they could have totally made this into a much bigger event. There's a lot of feuds that AEW has currently that they could have made it a multi-match Blood and Guts, but it was a one match. So I will be deducting points for that, but I would say it would probably be an A-.
Okay. I wasn't going to give it that high. I would give it a solid B+. I would say that there was two good matches, which was Blood and Guts and the Britt Baker match. I think the promo in the beginning, there were some good parts, but I also thought it dragged a little bit. And then they had some filler matches, what I just didn't care of. So I give it a B+. All right, guys, let's get into do we have the cue ready for Mad Dog? And we have a brand new intro that we're going to play.
Well, let's run the commercial. One more before we get to the news.
Okay, let's go to commercial break. Son of a bitch.
It does. No.
Previously on the Mike Knox Show.
Oh, we have a new world.
He sucks so much, he's got 6 finishing moves.
I don't say how that means he sucks so much.
Because none of them fucking work, Chris.
He
none of them
won
work.
on NXT this past Tuesday. Him and Swerve Strickland beat Ty Dillinger.
Him and who? Swerve Strickland.
He had what's that trick? He and Trick Williams.
Him and Booker T. You're so racist.
I just watched Swerve Strickland, and God forgive me. Him and Ty Dillinger. No, him and Trick Williams.
Ty Dillinger.
Defeated Ty Dillinger and Sean
Ty Dillinger.
Ethan
Hawke.
Ethan Page. All ego Ethan Page.
Oh my God.
Chris, I got to ask you, man, were you on the juice that day? You had a little juice that night? All right, guys. Well, let's get into the news with Mad Dog. Let's hit the news intro.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's going on, Mad Dog?
Hey guys, yeah,
that was actually really cool. That was a good intro.
That was. You like the background?
Cool.
Yeah.
How do you get? I'm assuming you got your new computer.
Yeah, and this is the new background. Everyone likes it. And here we go. So this week in wrestling news for the week of 7/24, 24. It's kind of weird, actually. It's 24 this week. Right. So Wrestling Pursuits has noted that CM Punk is trying to get a deal restructured. They also noted that he believes he's under a current 3-year contract with WWE right now, but he wants to actually extend it. And the reason why he wants to extend it is because he's having such a great time in the company right now. He wants to actually work longer for WWE. So hopefully that will happen. I'm not sure if anybody's paying attention, but McIntyre does have a match coming up at SummerSlam with CM Punk as well. It's, McIntyre, really, as I reported earlier this year, also re-signed with the company for, I believe, a 4-year contract. So both of them will be in a match. Seth freaking Rollins will be the referee of that match because Seth is actually still on injury. The other thing I have here, speaking of injuries, believe it or not, Sky Blue actually suffered a injury on AEW Collision on Saturday. And I hope I say this name right. I might mess this up. I believe Hiroko Shida, I believe, she was going against, and the match was stopped early, and the ref said it can no longer continue because Sky Blue hurt her leg from going on a high cross from Shida on the outside, which saw Shida awkwardly land on Sky Blue's leg. So Sky Blue will be injured. Not sure how long she'll be out for, but they said she's going to be out for a while. Fightful stated here, this is a big deal going around. There's a lot of talk about this going on, and it's very exciting because we still don't know. AEW was tonight, as everybody knows. AEW is on TBS and TNT, right? So what the deal is, Warner Brothers Discovery has the TV rights to AEW. Right now, they're still trying to negotiate a deal. Now, Fightful Select has said, Sharma Sapp has said, nothing is set in stone, but there has been progress being made. It seems like every week I come on the air, it's like progress has been made towards a TV deal. And we don't know what's going to end up happening with that. I'll keep everybody posted. But right now, there's no agreement between the two sides. And I'm not sure if it was announced earlier today, but I'm not sure if anybody heard this. But it turns out Warner Brothers Discovery turned down an 11-year deal from the NBA because they couldn't meet contract negotiations and actually went to Amazon. So it is very interesting that there's a lot of, negotiating going on between the TV rights. Hopefully Tony Khan will straighten that out. Kill Switch, which if you guys know who Kill Switch is, Kill Switch works with the patriarchy, Christian Cage. He actually has an arm injury coming out of Collision from last week. Dave Meltzer says that he's supposed to work through it. Wrestling Pursuits has reported that Buddy Matthews, by the way, just got married to Rhea Ripley a couple weeks ago. I reported that as well. Yeah. Will resign with has resigned with AEW, and the AEW star is not able to comment on his contract status, so we don't know how long he resigned for, but we know he resigned with the company. Fightful Select reported that Delta, I think I'm saying this right, Delta Brady, Dean Brady's younger sister, is now on her way into the Performance Center to start training. They might start bringing her into NXT in the next couple of months. So we'll see where that goes there. And this other news, man, this one really, really kind of grinds my gears because I'm such a fan of this guy. And when I heard that, he was not even on the roster the other day anymore, I'm like, he's going to AEW. He better go to AEW. He better go to AEW. I'm talking about MVP. MVP, if you guys do not know, was the manager and wrestler in WWE. He actually led the Hurt Business during the Bobby Lashley era, during the pandemic era, actually, with Shelton Benjamin. And Dave Meltzer notes here that he might be going to AEW, and they might try and rebrand Hurt Business with actually Shelton Benjamin, who's also currently a free agent, by the way. So I really hope that happens because I always liked the Hurt Business. I always thought it was a good thing. And then they passed off to the Bloodline, and MVP even said it in a tweet to Hughes Reed that they passed the whole thing off to the Bloodline. That's right. Stephanie McCurry, that's right, are coming to NXT. That's right. There's so many people coming to WWE and NXT. We know Stephanie McCurry did a match in Mexico already. She did a dark match. Everyone backstage was impressed the way she worked. A lot of people thought she was going to go to AEW. She did not. Yeah, so then the last piece of news I have here, Malachi Black will soon become a free agent after his contract expires. Now, I don't know when the contract's going to expire. I think some said the end of the year, some saying October. I heard from, SRS, he said most likely end of the year, maybe January. So maybe we could see Malachi Black come back in the Royal Rumble. And I'm hoping that happens because that would be super cool to see him back in WWE in the Royal Rumble. So, but that's all I have this week. Yeah, it was a very busy week for news, but yeah, we took care of it. We took care of it. So yes.
Nice.
Well, Mad Dog, do you know what's going on with John Mox? Where he's been? We haven't seen him in a while.
Right, John Moxley is currently on a extended vacation right now. They kind of gave him a vacation because he requested it, I believe. Yeah, so.
Oh, okay.
That's the last thing I read on it, and that was like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. I don't think he's injured, and as far as my knowledge goes, I didn't read anything about him going back into rehab, so I don't think I think he's on vacation right now. But they'll probably, most likely they will show him for it All In. They're not going to not have him there. They're definitely going to have him going into All In for sure. They're going to have him in a match. I just don't know where. I mean, that card's already getting stacked, so I don't know where they're going to place him, but they're probably going to find a place for him. But right now, yeah, he's kind of kind of just in the just on the vacation side while everybody else is running the show over there at AEW. So
there you go. All right. Well, that was my question. Thank you so much for coming on and bringing us all that exciting news. I like the background.
Anytime, guys. And thank you for the intro. Really cool.
It's really
cool intro. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mad Dog.
All right, guys. Well, that is all I have for you. If there's nothing else you have, Cactus Caite, we are going to end the show. You got any parting words?
No, just like and subscribe. Unpopular review. Follow us every week if you like us, and we will see you guys next week.
All right, guys. I appreciate it from Venomous Vince and Cactus Caite. You are watching Unpopular Review, AEW Review, and we will see you guys next week.
Good night.